Hey guys, I just wanted to show off a little thing I made that I think is cool. It's nothing incredible, but I'm thinking I'm going to take a break from this project for a while. So it felt like a waste to not show this off because it probably won't get a chance soon. Um, so I came up with a new approach to parsing user commands and defining the commands. What we were doing last time was I defined a grammar for commands and I had a parser that would create an abstract syntax tree. So, I mean, long story short, right? It has a special structure for grammatical phrases based on my grammar, and it would map the words the user wrote into that structure. This is how you do things like compilers for programming languages, typically. And I love writing parsers, and I had fun making that, and I'm still pretty proud of that grammar I came up with. I think it was fairly clever. But it made defining the commands a big pain, because they would have to take that structure and destructure it and, like, go down here to the nominal phrase and, like, check the adjectives and check the article, and it just took too much work to actually understand what the user wrote. And so I sat down for a bit and I thought it would be so cool if we had a pattern matching syntax where when you define the command, you make like a pattern over the grammar and it matches it. So it's almost like an ad lib, right? Where you would say, like, if the verb is take, then, and the object is like a blank, fill in the blank with what the user said at the direct object, right? I thought that'd be really cool, and I sat down and I thought for a bit even more, and realized, like, we don't really need the grammar, you know? We don't need to say, like, direct object. We can just do, like, what I do here, where question mark O just matches the word that is here. So if the user writes take, followed by a word, then it sticks that word in this variable question mark O. And we can do some more complicated ones, like unlock L with K. So L is the thing that's locked and K is the key to it. And then coincidentally, I started thinking, like, boy, that's a big shift in how I'm doing things. I should see what some other games did before I start a whole new system that I might regret. And it turns out, this idea is really close to what Infocom did for their games. So then I knew I was on the right track, and so I just did it, right? It's still a little basic. It only matches single words, so you can't say take the key. You can only say take key. And I was going to fix this at some point. It's just really minor, you know? Because what we'd have to do is, like, map all of the words after take instead of just the one word. And then do a little bit of parsing to see, like, did they start that phrase with a or the, then ignore that and look at the rest, right? But it just didn't feel important at all. There was another idea about having a separate system for associating real words with the actual objects. So I have a really basic system called realization here, where we have a few of these realizers that they take either a string or an object, as well as a predicate, and the reason it's called realization is because we're turning a word into a real object. So in the string case, for instance, realize in front is the simplest realizer, it only realizes objects that are right in front of the player. So, what does this even do again? Right, okay. So long story short, what this does is it gets the object in front of the player and uses the word and the predicate. And so if there is an object in front of the player and either there was no word or the word is equal to the name of that object, and either there was no predicate or the object meets the condition on that predicate, then we return the object. So to go over that again, because it was a little convoluted. It gets the object in front of the player and just checks, is this the object the player was talking about? And does it meet whatever condition we have? The conditions are things like here, is the object portable? Ooh, that's another thing I should talk about later. I'll get to that. It's small. So, if you try to say, like, take elephant, then it won't realize because an elephant is not portable. So this is realize around, which does objects that are in all 8 directions around the player. There's also realize inventory for realizing objects in the inventory. And there's also realize arm's reach, which is just a combination of inventory and around. And this system is a little primitive, and so I had some fun ideas on having this, like, dictionary system that can figure out more nuanced associations of words to objects and handle, like, words that aren't really objects. And, you know, at some point we need to have characters. So the dictionary could figure out, like, is this word referring to an object or a character? And that sort of thing. But I never got to it. So the last cute thing that actually exists is Def Command Star. Actually, this to-do's done, pretty much. Well, it's not implicit. Whatever. So Def Command Star gives you a way to remap commands onto other commands. So for instance, so a question mark with no letters after means that nothing is there. So this calls take with a, like, nothing object, which then gets passed to realize around, which I can't remember which path it takes, actually. I assume it would be realize real object. Let's check. Nope, it takes the string route. I guess that makes sense. Because realizable P does check if for null word. So for instance, with realize in front, I lost my place. I'm stupid. For realize in front, the word would be this no word object. And so it would just check, is there an object in front of the player that meets the predicate? So if you say take with no word, it just assumes whatever is in front of you is the thing you want. The other ones will have to figure out... Where do they do it, even? Is it this? That doesn't seem right. No, it does. Oh, here it is, yeah. They will report if there's multiple objects that meet the criteria, and then the command can go like, you need to specify what you want to pick up now. You can't just say take, you need to say take key. So, we can define the command take in terms of this take something command. Similarly, we can make pick up something be take something, and pick up be take, and get up be wake, but then get something that isn't up is take. So these weird things where like up changes the whole meaning of the word get. You're not taking anymore, right? You're doing a different action. You're waking up. That kind of thing can be handled really, really elegantly with the system. Here we have some special handling for drop. I don't remember why. Oh, right. Because it's an error if you say drop key and there's two objects called key right now. Obviously, that's not how we want the endgame. That is one of the problems that dictionary system I mentioned was supposed to fix. But for now, it's not a big deal. Were there any cute ones? Oh yeah, and then unlock is complicated because it has two things. So we define unlock lock with key, and then we can define just unlock with key, which implies the door, and we can also unlock door, or lock, which implies the key. And then we can do unlock, which implies both. So you can make these derivative commands, right? Wake up is also derivative of wake. And then wake just does its thing. Right, and then on push, I have it tell you, like, you can only push things that are in front of you, so there's no reason to say what to push. It still does it. It just gives you that little advice. I thought that was cute. So, it's a lot simpler than doing the whole parser, but in many ways, it's a lot more powerful, and we can really concisely define things that would normally be a big pain. Now, it would be really cool if we could, like, implicitly generate this, where it could just... we could say L is optional, and it would generate this automatically. But this is already so concise and simple that I just don't really care. The sky's kind of the limit with this, frankly. We could have designed this so that instead of taking individual tokens, we could have made it one whole string that we parse again, but it just didn't feel necessary. The sky's kind of the limit with this stuff. But I'm pretty happy with this. I thought it was cool. It's way more concise than the old thing. I kept surprising myself while I made this with how much more concise I could keep making it. Because I had another thing for defining these derivative commands that was a lot clunkier. And I sat down and went like, wait a minute. I don't know if I can find that. Yeah, I don't want to go through the log right now. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, I think I'm going to just drop this game for a while and work on something else. I think what I will do is create pitch docs for this game and the other game and get people's opinions, because I'm really on the fence. It's just the game design in this game is tough. I've really struggled with writer's block. And I've had this other game on my mind a lot, and it might be a grass is greener thing. It's complicated. So, we'll see. And I'll just do progress reports on that game when or if I do it. So, see you next time.